This scene is all too common, isn't it? All too common. People who have been shocked by the fact that actually they did give their all to their organisation, but what they found is that when the chips are down, that you work hard, we'll look after you, promise, didn't come true. Didn't come true. So what people are now doing is they're rethinking what work means for them. They're rethinking what work does for them. And that's something that we don't think about very often. You know, our old rule, if you work hard, we'll look after you, I think our employees, our workers, have replaced that rule with their very own rule. Yeah? And this is what it looks like. It's great, that, isn't it? I love that picture. It's all about me. And I don't think that as an HR group, certainly in the UK, and it's probably here in New Zealand, it's the same, I'm not sure we've really grasped that concept. I'm not sure we've really got inside people's heads and really understand what it is that drives them. Because if we understand what drives them, then we can provide that for them and somehow shackle them in a positive, creative, holistic way, shackle them to the organisation to mean that we keep our best people. We don't want them to leave. We don't want them to go nowhere else. So this creativity is important because, you know, I travel into London quite a bit on the train, and when you look at people, what they do with their time on that hour journey into London every day, that's quite telling. I could count on one hand in a carriage of 60 people how many are reading through strategic documents and how many are familiarizing themselves with the values of the company to make sure they're aligned. Surprisingly, nobody's doing that. They're flicking through pictures of their kids. They're writing lists of stuff they've got to do at the weekend. They're researching holidays on their smartphones. You know, they're reading books that provide them with interest and stimulation. They're doing their crosswords and doing the Sudoku. They're doing stuff that they enjoy. They're getting something out of. Then they step off the train. They're getting to the office, and it's almost like shutdown mode. Because what we do is we create an environment where the left-hand side here is great, is very well visually represented by this very grey cubicle kind of approach. And we've taken that approach with our people, I think, in the past. What they're saying is now they want to live in a right-brain world because they're now further down that triangle. Different things are more important to them. We need to understand what they are and meet them at that place. Now, the thing about talent management is it's all about data, isn't it? How many people have compiled bloody talent data lists? Lots. How many people love compiling bloody talent data lists? It's when you look at all the books around talent management, you know, a lot of them are boring, really dull, and all they talk about is data, is around gathering information, and very few of them actually talk about the specifics of what you can do with some information. What I'm talking about is I'm talking about getting to know, getting under the skin, understanding the other side of our best people, and creating what I call a personalized and irresistible career proposition for those people. So really understand what drives them, and I'll talk to you in a minute about how we're doing this in London. But the reason for doing this is to make sure they're more fully engaged, to help them see or help them feel that work becomes more than work, that work is something that allows them to manage the rest of their life. I'm a big believer in making sure that work moves you closer to your personal goals. And it shocks me the amount of people I speak to that don't have any personal goals. You know, they have no idea what they're doing. And I think that's where it needs to start, isn't it? Is having a sense of what a personal goal is. To really understand what their individual career drivers are, and then, and here's the important thing, because the follow-through has to happen, is putting a plan in place as to how to deliver that stuff. Now that stuff might be easily implementable, cheap stuff. It might be, I want a mentor, I want more responsibility, I want you to show me how I can climb the career ladder, what does the ladder look like, what do I have to do to get on. That sort of stuff is easily done. And having a talent manager there to take responsibility, to hold the high potential's hand and guide them through that maze is incredibly powerful. But the most powerful thing about what we're doing here is the fact that actually we're saying to people that if, for example, you're a working mum, or a working dad, and when we sit down and go through the process I'm going to take you through in a second, and we understand that work-life balance is the most crucial thing for you, in that you're really cut up about the fact that you never get to tuck your kids in, or you never get a chance to read them a story, and you only ever see them at the weekends and in the morning if you're lucky over breakfast. If that's the thing that is really cutting you up, then let's change that. So if it means that we put into your personal career proposition only for you, that you can leave, well, whatever works, Wednesday and Friday at 3 o'clock, with no political, sort of difficulties around that at all. If we put that in a plan and everybody agrees to it and sticks to it, and we allow this person to do that, when they get a call from another organization saying, here's another $20,000, and it maybe represents 25%, 20% of their salary perhaps, they've got a difficult choice to make. And I reckon that if we can create this kind of employee proposition for people individualized, that gives them exactly what they want, that's completely tailored to their life and their life plan, then why would they want to leave? Why would they want to leave? Because it would be so difficult to replicate what they have with you that they wouldn't want to go anywhere else. And we talk a lot about work-life balance, don't we, in HR? What do you notice about that phrase? What comes first? Even when we talk about a work-life balance, work comes first. So why don't we start calling it a life-work balance? Going to be join me, brothers and sisters, and start renaming this? From now on, it's a life-work balance.